Hey, level 60, your good friend Bo here, playing around with the Vengeance spec on the Demon Hunter. This is our tank spec, and it is a ton of fun. So instead of using Fury like the DPS spec, it uses Pain, which is kind of morose, but I still enjoy it. I think it's cool. It generates by using abilities, just like Fury does in the DPS spec, and reminds me a great deal of Rage. So, without further ado, let's jump into the spell book. We have Consume Magic, that's your interrupt. It interrupts the cast and removes the school for 3 seconds, and gives you 50 pain if you're successfully interrupting somebody. So you have 100 pain on your bar, that's 50% of a bar. That seems pretty important. Prepare for interrupt duty. Darkness, just like in the DPS spec, we get a purple circle 8 yards around our feetsies, and it gives you 15% chance to not take any damage at all. Very cool. That's a neat little raid cooldown. Stand right in front of Gorefiend, use that, and essentially reduce the damage taken by the raid. Okay, Demon Spikes is next. Let me go ahead and show you what those look like here. We have our active mitigation ability number 1. So Demon Spikes requires 10 pain, reduces physical damage by 28%, 15-second cooldown, and increases parry chance by 20. And looks pretty cool. I get spikes on my back. They kind of look like wings. They kind of look like not wings. You get 2 charges of this. Oh, look at that. I transformed into a demon. That's another ability. We'll go into that a little later. But long and short of it is, I got spikes on my back, I reduce my damage, and I parry more often. Cool. Okay. And the next active mitigation is Empower Wards. This reduces magical damage by 30% for 6 seconds. This is one charge, and it's a 20-second cooldown. But I turn all shiny and green. It's pretty. Take less magic damage for 6 seconds. Cool. Fiery Brand is really neat. This is a 1-minute cooldown. So this is one of your defensive cooldowns that you'll use when you have a period of 10 seconds that you're going to take increased damage. So if I use this, it reduces the damage that this dummy is going to do to me by 40% for 10 seconds. And I can use it again in a minute. So, kind of neat. Y'all know Glide already, where I double jump and then I hit it the 3rd time and I fly around for a little bit. If you don't like this, you just need to get the hell out, because this is awesome, period. I wish we had this sooner. Anywho, let's get into our AoE. We have Immolation Aura. So Immolation Aura, just like when you're a Demonology Warlock, it causes a large initial damage and radiates for 6 seconds, dealing damage to all the units around you. You don't have to hold it down, you don't have a cast time. It's a 15-second cooldown, and it lasts for 6 seconds. It also generates pain. I reckon because it sets yourself on fire, that would be pretty painful. Anyway, it's kind of like a Consecrate that's below you, in the sense that it does AoE damage and will do AoE threat. We have Imprison, just like the DPS spec. It's our crowd control, 10-second cooldown, and it lasts a minute until you damage the target, which I can see a couple people like Craig doing. Side note, we'll move forward to Infernal Strike. So Gone is the awesome little fell charge that you get in the DPS spec. It is replaced with a 2-charge Infernal Strike. So instead of rushing through and greening and looking pretty and cool, we now have an alternative that looks exactly like Heroic Leap. Turn into a little bit of a demon, and I fly around. Cool. Benefit is it does damage just like Heroic Leap. Biggest benefit is you get 2 charges. I can dig it. Righteous. Okay, Metamorphosis. This is our huge defensive cooldown. So I pop into demon form and increase my current and maximum health by 45%. That's a holy crap. So I have 2 million health as it is at 110. Bam. I have over 3 million health. I look badass. I'm all spiky and horny and stuff like that. But anyway, I look cool. And that's about it. So that's Metamorphosis. You get to use that every 3 minutes. You look cool while you do it. That's one of the coolest things about the Demon Hunter is that transformation. And next we have Shear. This is your pain generator. Okay, so it doesn't look special.
To get closer.
It looks like this.
I'm out of range.
Very neat. Cool beans. Alright, we have... Turned into a demon again, that's badass. We have sigils. That's another main mechanic of the Vengeance Demon Hunter. You'll notice this one's Sigil of Chains. What these do is they give you a target reticle to put down wherever you want. This particular one acts like Entangling Roots. So it activates, it takes a second to activate, and anyone who's in that circle will be transported into the middle of it and be slowed by 70%. So Snare, awesome, AoE Snare. Sigil of Flame. We talked about that Consecrate where it was around me for AoE. This is a Reticle Consecrate. Sigil goes down, takes a second to activate, stays on the ground for a little bit, dealing AoE damage. So that's your AoE pull mechanic, or I need to keep threat on this group of people over here. Let me throw the Sigil down. We have Sigil of Mercy. This one is cool. This does a... that guy's talking. Cool. Anyway, this one is an AoE disorient, I guess you could say. They cower in fear, transport to the center. They don't move for very long. 30 seconds they'll stay like that. So that is kind of neat to have an AOL, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me today? An AoE spell that allows you to disorient for 30 seconds a targeted group. Here's looking at you, Cataclysm expansion inside of the best bastion of Twilight. Just stupid mobs in the beginning. I still hate you. Still hate you. Sigil of Silence is an AoE silence that takes 2 seconds to activate, and it silences them for 6 seconds. So, digging these sigils, great concept. The reticle might be a deterrent for me, but I could probably get used to it. We have Soul Cleave. This allows us to cleave multiple targets and heal yourself. It costs 30 to 60 pain, and will consume all soul fragments within a couple yards. So, as you can see, people are starting to throw shit at stuff, so let's go ahead and get this guy going. Takes my pain away. Okay, Soul Cleave. Oh, yeah. Make me a demon. All about that demon life. Cool. Cleave it. Alright. So all the soul fragments that generate around me, the little purple dots that you'll see pop up as I generate some more pain. There's one. I can either go pick it up and do that, or I can consume it with that Soul Cleave and be awesome. And it reduces my damage. Alright, moving forward. Y'all know Spectral Sight. I can see through walls and stuff. Didn't last very long for some reason. Throw Glaive. That's my ranged throw. You can bounce to other people, and it's a high threat move, so it's just like having Heroic Throw. Torment is our taunt. Same as any other taunt you've ever seen. Passive abilities. Demonic Wards. Tattoos reduce magic damage by 10%, increase stamina by 20, and armor by 120. That makes me a tank. Double Jump, we know about that. Our Mastery. Demon Spikes reduces physical damage taken by an additional amount and increases your attack power. So Demon Spikes are cool. I can dig it. Make me very thorny. Shattered Souls. Killing a target will leave their fragment behind. Heals you for a large amount of health. And grants you 20% increased damage if it came from a demon. So those are your spellbook abilities without using talents, of course. Let's go into the next section. Talents. Fabulous. Alright, starting off the bat, we have Razor Spikes on Tier 1. Demon Spikes are active, you deal 20% more physical damage, and melee attacks snare targets. Cool. Agonizing Flames, Immolation Aura increases your movement speed. I'm all about that movement speed increase, and deals 50% increased damage. So Immolation Aura makes me faster, I run at you quicker, and I do more damage. Abyssal Strike, Infernal Strike's range is increased, and a cooldown reduced by 5. Huh, yeah, defaulting that one. Yeah, I can imagine jumping all the way over here. Alright. Ooh, Golden Moonkin, how pretty. Feast of Souls. Soul Cleave heals you for an additional 75,000 over 6 seconds. Cool. A hot mechanic to Soul Cleave. Fallout. Immolation Aura's initial burst has a chance to shatter lesser soul fragments from enemies. So, when I use my cool little AoE, ta-da, I can get some more soul fragments. I have Burning Alive. Every 2 seconds, your fiery brand deals 26k fire damage and spreads from the primary target to a nearby enemy. A cleave effect for your cooldown. I like fiery brand too, that's kind of neat. And giving it a dot. I can dig that too. Alright, next one, Fell Blade. Charge your target. I can dig that. I like charging. Shear has a chance to reset the cooldown of Fell Blade and generates 20 pain. So, free to cast, 15-second cooldown, does a moderate amount of damage, and charges. Cool. Flame Crash. Infernal Strike creates a sigil of flame when you land. I like sigil of flame, and I also like the idea of that. Gluttony. Consuming a soul fragment increases the damage of your next soul cleave by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. That could be fun too. Let's take Flame Crash real quick. See if it generates a cooldown on Sigil of Flame. Nope, it doesn't. So I can have 2 Sigils of Flames going. I can have 3. That's cool. I like Flame Crash. Feed the Demon. Consuming a soul fragment reduces the remaining cooldown of demon spikes by 1 second. I can dig that. Fracture. Brutally slam your target for a massive amount of damage and shatter 2 lesser soul fragments from them. That's nice. Soul Rending. Gain 50% leech while Metamorphosis is active. Sure, I'll take that. That sounds great. Let's take a look at Fracture. So Fracture is... looks like we have some pain to generate to use it. It's 40 pain, so that's a pretty large amount. Okay. That was cool. I'll take it. I'll do it again so we can look at the awesomeness again. I know I have unspent talent points. Oh, check it out. This is your new health bar, energy bar, whatever, and your soul fragments show up right here. Okay. Well, I'd say it's cool, but it's kind of lackluster compared to the rest of it, so we'll move forward. Concentrated sigils. All sigils are now targeted at your location, and the duration of their effects is increased by 2 seconds. So instead of having to use the target reticle, I just put it below my feet. Okay. Fell Eruption. We saw this with the DPS spec. Impales the target for a massive amount of damage, stuns them for 2 seconds, and will do double the damage if it's on a boss. Quicken Sigils. All sigils activate 1 second faster, and cooldowns are reduced by 20%. Handy. Take a look at Fell Eruption real quick when I get out of combat. Fell Eruption. As you can see, put spikes on the ground. Really cool, lots of damage. Awesome. Next here, Fell Devastation. 1 minute cooldown. Unleash the Fell within you, damaging enemies directly in front of you for a massive amount of damage. 440,000 damage. Holy crap. Fire damage over 2 seconds. Causing damage also heals you for up to 802,000. I like it. Cool. Channeled. Okay, 2 second channel. And you heal. Cool. Blade turning. Parrying an attack increases the pain generation of your next shear by 50%. Spirit Bomb. Dragon Ball Z fans, what's up? Launch a nearby soul fragment at your target, dealing 20,000 damage to all nearby enemies and afflicting them with frailty for 15 seconds. You heal for 5% of all damage you deal to enemies with frailty. I can dig that too. I like it. Let's take a look at Fell Devastation. That's a cool little 1 minute cooldown. Get some pain. Yeah. Okay, takes my pain. Okay. Damaging enemies directly in front of you. Oh, cool. It's like a breath of fire. I like it. Okay, nifty. And we have our last here. Soul Barrier. 20-second cooldown, 30 pain. Shield yourself for 8 seconds, absorbing a medium to a large amount of damage. 286,000. Consuming a soul fragment adds 47,000 to the shield. So, awesome bubble. Cannot be reduced below 38,000. Consumes all soul fragments within 20 yards. That's kind of neat. So give yourself a big old bubble, especially when you have a lot of purple dots around. Nether Bond. Bind yourself to a friendly player for 15 seconds. Every 1 second, the health of you and your target is redistributed, such that you are at the same percentage of maximum health. That's kind of a cool thing. So it's essentially the shaman totem with just your friend. So say I have Joe Schmo over here who's at 50% health and I'm at like 100. We're both going to be at like 75. Now considering I have more health than Joe Schmo over here, I think it affects me more, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Still cool. Cool. And our last talent, Last Resort. Sustaining fatal damage instead transforms you to a metamorphosis form and returns you to 30% health. This effect may only occur every 3 minutes. Okay, so we took the idea from a Death Knight where I might die, but instead of dying, I turn into a badass with 30% health. Good luck trying to kill me now. Aha. And then Nether Bond we talked about, Soul Barrier we talked about. I kind of want to play with Soul Barrier. Let's take a look and see what that looks like, if it has any animation or anything like that. Bam, Soul Barrier.
I need a target.
Okay, let's get some pain going. Alright. And Soul Barrier. Oh, I see it's a purple bubble. It's like the priest got some purple dye. And I transformed into a demon conveniently at the same time. I don't think that's the intended effect, guys, but it's one of those passive things. 5 seconds, then we'll try it again. Get a purple bubble. Yay! A disciplined priest got a little bit of purple on me. Cool. And I don't have any friends to play with Nether Bond, and of course Last Resort turns me into this big ol' awesome form that looks like this. Alright. Those are the talents, the abilities. I just love jumping around and being this big ol' badass monster. I'm sure y'all are gonna love it too. I notice my weapons go away, so my body is my weapon. My body is ready. But anyway, that concludes our Demon Hunter tutorial for tanking. You can see it's active mitigation. You get spiky and bubbly and, you know, spiky again. And you jump around like a warrior. So, anywho, I hope y'all had fun. I know this is fun for me. It's going to be really hard to not play a Demon Hunter when it comes out because it feels pretty polished. I like the sigils. I like the concept of being able to control my situation, even if it is a reticle or use a talent that puts it below you instead. Can't stop playing. Oh yeah, and I can do this. Thanks for the fun, guys.